I had presented with a very bad back with bilateral sciatica, but alarm was raised in my mind when I had an abnormal sensation to urination. I'm a veterinary surgeon, so I suspected that may be something related to an urgent issue, and I presented myself to accident and emergency. Unfortunately, at that time, they didn't act on it as they should have done, and that delay left me with certain neurological abnormalities that I still have today. Eventually, on that second admission, after about 24 hours, I went to an emergency operation at St George's Hospital to correct a severe disc prolapse. A month or so after the operation, I went for a revisit, and it became very evident that the signs that I still continued to have weren't going to go away. It was going to be a long-term condition in some way, shape or form. I know that my situation was a little special in that I understood what Cauda Equina syndrome was, because that happens in animals too.
What made you seek legal advice?
Well, I was sacked essentially from my job. I was unable to maintain the job the role that I'd been hired for. So I had some understanding of Cauda Equina syndrome, and by having some little understanding of it and looking into it online and learning about it and learning about how it should be handled in a clinical sense, I was able then to search for solicitors who also displayed that same kind of knowledge, and the people I initially phoned were the people who seemed to have a reasonable understanding of it on their websites.
From our perspective, we have to go ahead and get records and take a statement from you and just find the factual history. All of that can take quite a bit of time. So once that step had been taken, a lot of the time then we were spent preparing to effectively quantify or value the case, which was by then, it was what, 2.5 years after the initial issue. By then you'd moved to Australia.
There was a genuine caring approach. There was sorrow over what had happened, and there was a lot of empathy towards that. And I think that comes with an understanding of the condition. And that's another thing that was huge. You were able to secure these interim payments. While the process was going on, I could live the life I had to lead at that point, buy all the equipment, drugs, etc., without having to compromise on those aspects which are so vital to your health. Anytime I needed more, you went to the other side, fought for me, and got these payments that were able to keep my head above water, or to be honest, more than above water. If
you were advising somebody who was possibly contemplating making a clinical negligence claim, what would you say to them?
I would say the process is going to be more difficult than you can imagine at the moment. When you find it difficult, try and realise that the disastrous scenario hasn't happened yet, and if you're with more blatch, that the right people are looking after you, and they will get the best result for you.